Hello, everybody. So I'm back with Annette O'Donnell today, and we're doing this as a YouTube video because for those of you that already know, I did a conversation on a Facebook Live with Annette literally about 2 weeks ago whilst I was in Ibiza, and it's had thousands of views. It was an incredible testimonial. It went on for probably about 45 minutes. So what we're doing today is I've invited Annette back, and we're going to just condense what you shared so that I can share this out on YouTube for all those people who right now are absolutely intrigued about the iTeracare, the technology. And I've now been with it, you know, in your group with you selling this for the last 3 weeks, and I've never known anything like it in my entire life. This is going like wildfire. So the testimonials are off the chart for people with every ailment I've ever heard of. So Annette, could you please give us maybe just a little background into your story, which had me crying on the Facebook Live, and then explain these incredible, not just one, not two, not three, but four now, an extra one, testimonials you've had in the last literally 6 weeks, I guess, from using this new device, this new 3 technologies in one.
Thank you so much, Sachi, for inviting me. I love just any chance to share my journey in health and life, because I think sometimes we're put under immense challenges in life to learn the lessons and then be able to help others. So I can tick quite a few boxes in health issues. Very briefly, in my 20s, I was a very successful CV person, loving my life. Everything was amazing. I got married, I had a baby, a newborn baby. And then on my honeymoon, I realized that I couldn't taste any flavors in a restaurant. Beautiful food in Israel. And I said to my husband, I can't actually taste anything, what's up? So we came back home for honeymoon, saw the doctor. The doctor said, you're fine. There's nothing to worry about. You're just breastfeeding. You're overtired. It's fine. But Sachi, the next day I had a random dentist checkup at my dentist. And I went there and he said to me, oh my gosh, Annette, what is that on your tongue? I said, it's a tiny ulcer. My GP said that it's fine. I'm not concerned, but I can't taste anything. And my sense of smell is not brilliant either. Anyway, within 5 minutes, biopsy time. He says to me, I'm sorry to say, but I don't like the look of that ulcer. It looks more than an ulcer. Let me do a biopsy here and there. I kind of thought, well, how do you take a biopsy of a tongue? It's such a strange thing, isn't it? I was overwhelmed by just the fear of that alone. So he said, don't worry, it's not going to hurt. We'll take a tiny sliver from your tongue, and then we'll know what it is, or if it's something to worry about. Anyway, he was a liar, because that really hurt. I mean, can you imagine that? Oh my God, that searing pain in your mouth. Your mouth is so sensitive. The taste with it, you know, it's just such a sensitive area. Anyway, long story short, that came the biopsy, and it was cancer. I was 28 years old. I just got back from my honeymoon. I had a baby, and I didn't really know anybody at that age with cancer. I didn't know what to expect. These days, it's quite a common occurrence, unfortunately, with all the world we live in, the toxins, the food. But at 28 years old, I didn't know anybody who had cancer, so I was kind of feeling very, very out of my depth. So I had options to deal with this cancer. They knew from the tumour that it was the end of a bigger tumour. So the tumour was apparently down my throat, up my neck, and on its way to my brain. So I've had a lot of surgery here. My options were to have rods put in my tongue, so actually just to radiotherapy and perhaps shrink it and get rid of the tumours that were there, or to have it cut away. Now, the thought of having it cut away was horrific, because I didn't know how much they'd take away. I didn't know how I'd recover. Will I survive? I wasn't sure what to do. So I said to my oncologist, if I was your daughter and she had the same issue, I'm putting all my trust in you, what would you say to your daughter? because that's all I could think of asking. And he said, well, if you were my daughter, I would recommend the surgery because the radiotherapy rods in your tongue will radiate radiotherapy, but it's not guaranteed to solve the issue. But if you cut it away, there's a higher chance of it not coming back. And I would say that. So my husband and I spent a few hours really thinking about what we're going to do, and we decided to have it cut away. So I went to hospital and they said, we can't tell you how much we'll take away until we're in there. So I hoped and prayed it'd be a sliver, a little part of my tongue, but it wasn't. I woke up a day or two after, actually, because it was a very big operation. I think it was 10 or 11 hours on the bed having it done, and they had to take it out. And I lost half the tongue. I woke up with half of my tongue. So, you know, it was shocking because suddenly I was mute. I couldn't make a sound. I couldn't do anything. I had a tracheostomy. I've got a big scar here for a tracheostomy, but I had a tube out of here. So, long story short, I, in my 20s, experienced the most horrific diagnosis. You know, in your 20s, your face is your frock front. Being a female, your face is so important. So I woke up with half the tongue missing, no speech, no communication, and this side of my face was down here, and this side was up there. So it was a real kind of elephant woman because they had to open up the skin. They took muscle and tissue from my tummy and put it on my arm, because this was my tongue they made me. They made me a tongue for my arm and then put that in there. Wow. But unfortunately that fails and it started to rot. So within about 4 or 5 days I had to have the whole thing taken out. I was back to square one with half a tongue. But at least they tried. So that's it, at least they tried. And some people these days have the same operation and they're back to normal, they're fine. So there's hope for people that have this diagnosis. It's just that I wasn't so fortunate. So I got on with my life and just accept the fact that I only had half a tongue, had to learn to talk again, eat, swallow, breathe. You don't realise how important your tongue is in your daily functions, swallowing.
I just want to say at this stage that this is such an incredible story, and you had me literally sort of welled up and choked up on Facebook when we did this. And I've said to you, we're going to make this not a very long video because people have so much, and yet this is an incredible story. So although we're sort of going through this quickly, I don't want to take away the enormity of your journey and just really
I appreciate it. That's probably why I haven't really come out and spoken about it much, because I appreciate people are busy and we'll have illnesses, but when I go over my illnesses, they're so relevant for everyone else because people always have something connected to it. For example, after the surgery, I was sitting back on my feet, I was learning to make sounds. I kept the tip of my tongue so I could make the sound, yeah, several sounds. And with a baby, I was desperate to talk to her and sing to her, but I couldn't. I was like, really desperately struggling. Anyway, a few years later, I woke up blind one day and blind in my left eye and partially sighted in the right. And I immediately thought, as you was, oh my gosh, that must mean that the cancer's back in my head. It must be because I can't see out of that eye and I'm struggling. Anyway, my oncologist said, you know, with stand your head, it's not cancer, it's something else, and we'll find out what it is. So let us take a spinal fluid sample from your spine, we analyze it, and we can find out what's going on with your immune system, your body, whatever, all that magic stuff. So it came back, and they said to me, I'm sorry to say, but you've got MS. You have multiple sclerosis. And I said, how can that be? I've just survived cancer, which was horrific. How can I have MS? Is it triggered by trauma or what is it? And they said, well, we're really sorry to say it, but back in 2004, when you had this whole drama, we weren't screening blood for autoimmune illnesses. So we're assuming that you contracted that through I had so much blood transfusions. With all my surgery, I had a lot of blood transfusions. And they said, you know, that's the bottom line, really. We're assuming that's what's happened. So surprisingly enough, I just kind of thought, well, that's a small price to pay to be alive. So I kind of just got over that, actually. I kind of thought, well, that's not a death sentence. MS is not as softened as the cancer. It's relapsing and remitting MS. So I have attacks, or I have had, past tense, I used to have for years and years and years, attacks that lasted about 2 months. One day I couldn't walk very well for 2 months. One day I was blind for 2 months. One day I couldn't use my arm for 2 months. One day I had a stroke in the shower. That was induced by MS. My whole information in my brain went poof, and I was rushed to hospital with a stroke, but it was inflammation from MS. So, yeah, people on this video watching it might know more about MS. Now these days, it's quite a common thing that people have, and also immune disease. So I'd had a cancer, had the MS diagnosis, was put on every fortnight. I had to inject a drive into my thigh for MS. So that in turn had a bad effects on my body. I had migraines and all sorts of things. So, yeah, that's what happened then. So that's my 20s, my 30s were MS based, really. But then in my 40s, I had 10 years of nothing. I was like, whoa, my life's okay, no illnesses, no problems. I was on top of the MS. I've learned to talk properly. I was working on my face and my appearance and how I presented myself for business and for work and for everything else. And then my 50s.
Beautifully.
Oh, I have had lots of surgery. I had a part of my belly muscle put into my head to pull my face up, because in my 30s my face was a bit it was beyond horrible, really. It was just so difficult. I looked like an elephant woman, and I lost so much confidence. Because when you're ill, you lose confidence, whether they can see your illness or not. I'm sure everyone knows that when you're feeling really bad or poorly, you don't feel brilliant. So my confidence was through the floor. Anyway, 40s was amazing. I have got my life together and moved forward. I had 3 children by then. I was a single mum by then, but I had 3 children and hoped for my 40s, got my life together. And then in my 50s, I had that email saying you'll do a mammogram, you're 50. So I went along, I thought, okay, have the mammogram. And the results came back fine. They said, yeah, great, you're fine. So I went to Cuba on holiday with my daughter and had a brilliant holiday with her. Came home to a voicemail saying, oh, okay, Mrs. O'Donnell, we have misread your mammogram. We need to have you hauled back to the Luton Beds Hospital for a biopsy again. So I just thought, oh my gosh, is it connected to that? And they're not. It's just 2 random, unfortunate cancers. So I went there, and it says, you haven't got a lump. You found it yourself. You had a lump. There's no lump, but from your mammogram, you have a mass of cancer cells on your chest wall inside, and you'd never find that without a mammogram. I was so thankful for that mammogram, because I wouldn't be here today, actually. I've got through everything else in life, but I would never have found that. And that mass was serious mass, really serious mass. So I had a lumpectomy through the sides of my chest. They took a sample, and then it's sent off to America, and they said, yeah, it's a very, very high level cancer. You have to have surgery, radiotherapy, and chemo. So of course, I've learned a lot in the last few years about pharma and medical procedures that wouldn't suit my body. And because I had MS, I knew I would never ever survive chemo. So I turned down chemo and said, no, thank you. I'd rather turn to the alternative path. And I found CBD oil, which was part of my recovery. And in my mind, CBD oil was my chemotherapy. It was my plant oil that restored my cells in my breast. And this November, I am 5 years cancer-free.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
That's in brief to people watching. That's why when this device arrived, you now have an idea of why I was desperate to try it. And once I learned about the benefits and how it works, I've been on the path of self-development for about, I don't know, 10 years. I studied with Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor was my mentor for the last 2 years before he passed away recently. You might know that.
This is such an incredible story. And you know, when I played back our Facebook Live again, and I heard you talking, because I was in tears with your share and everything, but what you said in this part about Bob Proctor was actually really poignant in this whole thing.
It's so, oh my gosh, I mean, the illness side of it is so important, this wand, but oh boy, there's way more to this wand than helping your cells in your body. I have been on a self-development journey for a long time. I was wondering, why do I have cancer? Why do I have this? So I looked into all the, you know, amazing with Braden, Bob Proctor, all the notorious amazing people that know about energy and how your thoughts are energy and how
Joe Dispenza.
Like Joe Dispenza, neural pathways. So I learned that, to be honest, half of my drama health-wise was probably brought in by my thinking, my experiences, my life, my paradigms, my upbringing, my ancestral family dramas. I mean, once you start on this journey, you're
and the trauma that you've been through in the first place. Yeah, sorry, the trauma.
Yeah. So set aside the medical side, which is obviously groundbreaking. You can be well without waiting. That's my new phrase now.
You can be well
without waiting, because with this wand, I'll explain in a moment about the wand, but you can instantly change your cellular health and be well without the waiting. I've waited bloody months for MRIs and scans in the past. If this wand had been around way back, I'm sure that my recovery might have been faster. I would have actually stopped certain things from actually happening. But going back to Bob Proctor, I realized that on Bob Proctor's mentorship program I was on throughout COVID, when it happened, I just lost my business. I thought, right, I'll focus on me. Signed up with him. I spent 2 years with him working about manifestation, essence, frequency, vibration, all that stuff that a lot of people on this video will understand. And I learned that instead of me focusing on things and business and money, and I focused on being an author, and then I wrote a book, it's a bestseller, and I did that in lockdown. It just happened because I learned the tools about manifestation. I thought, my gosh, you can manifest the best health within a device that is a frequency way higher than what we're used to. So I knew this was on its way about 8-9 months ago. I knew that this patent had been released, which is a miracle in itself, and that this technology was coming, because I've been looking out for med beds all this time. I want to grow back my tongue. Even though I can speak, it's not clear, but I can speak. I really want to have back my perfect tongue and restore my DNA to how I was when I was born. Up until my 20s, I was okay, nothing was wrong. So the med beds were on my radar, and then I knew this was coming. And this, actually, I'm sure you'll read, is a handheld med bed. It really is. It's such a powerful frequency machine that uses terahertz energy through a crystalline delivery within the barrel here, and it's got blue light therapy. So without being scientific and boring, this actually can change your health, your life, even your aura.
We want to hear your testimonials, your personal.
Oh, that's why I'm here. Sorry. But,
I know.
I'm so excited. Testimonial 1. When this first arrived, I thought, I ordered it without trying it because there were none in the UK. I had one of the first ones. I ordered it and thought, I know it's going to work because I've done my homework. I know what's in it. I have for about 8 or 9 months a really bad foot arthritis issue, joint discomfort. So every morning I couldn't get out of bed. It was really awkward to move it. And my children were saying, "Mommy, like an old woman walking down the stairs." And I said, "Well, I can't I don't know what to do. My heart's taking more painkillers. It's just so painful. Anyway, it arrives. I push it on the high setting. I held it over my foot for 3 minutes, Sachi. 3 minutes. And within 3 minutes, the pain went. I thought, oh, that's amazing, but I bet you it'll come back in the morning, because in the mornings, I always struggle to get out of bed. So the next day, got up, no pain. No pain. And that was almost 5.5 weeks ago now, I think it was. And I haven't had pain since. So actually, this device, I put, it's like a hair dryer, it blows out heat and frequency on my foot. The joint discomfort went, and I haven't had it since. So
Wow.
Amazing.
That's amazing. That is a result.
I can walk straight down the mornings, and it's just amazing.
See, we're reading these testimonials and hearing these testimonials from people in America and China and Malaysia, but you're around the corner from me, and you have had an instant result. And all the people now, we've all ordered our wands and we're waiting, and we're hearing about people like you every single day now. So that was the first testimonial.
First thing was the foot. Within 3 minutes, it completely went, and it's gone. History. Second thing is, I've had a lot of surgery for bits that have been put everywhere, and on my arm, my foot, my tongue area here, there may be a tongue here, and this has been numb and completely nothing for 28 years now.
28 years?
Yeah, since I had the surgery. So I've been wanding the far, literally 5 minutes for 2 or 3 days in a row, and now I can feel tickles. And I just want people to know that if you've had surgery or any kind of scar or damage to your body anywhere, this wand can bring back the nerves, the connection again. And I've got a lot of stitches that are right around here, my whole head's full of stitches, and that's been numb for so long, but now I can feel my fingers.
Wow.
And my lip here has been very droopy for a long time, and now that, I think it's almost straightening up a bit. But yeah, so damaged nerves, surgical areas, everyone's got something that has done, appendix, wherever it is. You have numbness in when you have a baby and you have a cesarean. I haven't had cesareans, but my friends have, and they're numb. Can you imagine having this wand and getting feeling back in your tummy? It makes you feel as a woman that you've got part of your body back that was robbed. It's
amazing.
Yeah, so that's number 2. The foot, then the hand, and then here is also major. I've got a lot of bits missing from my mouth and my throat and all that, and swallowing and saliva has been such a problem for me in drinking water, drinking tea. If I eat at a restaurant, which is actually, you'll notice I eat very slowly. I'm very worried about choking because I haven't got the equipment to chew and swallow, so it's always been a problem. But with this,
you can join me then, because I have ulcerative colitis, and I've lost loads of teeth at the back. I need to get some new teeth. It's about the only thing I have lost in getting older. So I also eat slowly, so we can go together for dinner.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just very aware, but it's not such a big problem now, because I have this ability now to, I don't know what is it, this wand has made my saliva, my taste buds come alive. I mean, can you imagine the amount of taste that I lost with all that drama in there? But my mouth's a different place now. It's still physically the same, but I'm feeling more, I can swallow properly. I'm not choking on my own spit all the time. I'm not spitting at people when I talk. So that has really affected my mouth. It's amazing.
And this is in 6 weeks?
Oh, that's only recently. So that's probably about 4 or 5 days of doing that. Because I vary it. I spend time on my boobies because of the breast cancer. I spend time on my arms, my nerves, and obviously my mouth. But oh my gosh, last one, actually, last testimonial.
This is a new one, guys. If you watch the Facebook Live, this is the new one, number 4.
I was in Glastonbury this weekend with my amazing team members. We met for the first time, and actually, you couldn't harm me, we weren't very well, but you're coming to the next one.
I am.
We are our Terahertz quantum fibers. We're a group in the UK that are spreading this magic everywhere, and we're welcoming anyone to join us. It's so magical, this journey. I was in Glastonbury, drove there. It's a long drive from here, 2.5 hours there. Had it, and drove back, but my car broke down on the way home, which is unfortunate, but Mr. RAC man saved me. But on the way home, the light was very low in Glastonbury, and this massive bright sun shone in my front windscreen. I'm sure many of you now, this day, have noticed that. Yesterday it happened to me around the corner here. The sun's very powerful and low at the moment, isn't it? It must be the time of the year.
Yeah.
The sun shone a beam of light into my wind mirror, and it hit my left side so quickly that I thought, oh my gosh, it almost blinded me. So I was so sorry about that. I got home and my eye was really sore. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, remember years ago when people were staring into the sun, there were stories about people wearing blinds. I thought, oh no, I hope that hasn't upset my my eyesight. Anyway, with the wand, I thought, right, this will work it. So I've been doing my wand for about 3 days now. I have no pain in my eye and there's no blurred vision, which is awesome.
Wow.
And while I was doing that and checking the eye, I've noticed that my eyesight is so much more improved because I'm focusing on my eye sockets with the wand. And I have a Apparatus wearing in one eye, I think it's the right eye, which will need surgery at some point, past tense. I'm not having surgery. This wand is really clearing my eyes, my visuals out. I do wear glasses for reading. They're very focal, the ones with the 2 lenses in, but I'm not needing them half as much. And in the groups, I've read that many people are having their eyesight issues reversed and they're cancelling all their surgeries because this works with optic nerve, it works with the blood vessels, the cells. It's just really helping people with their ocular health.
Wow.
That's my full testimony because it's new. And I've had a lot of eye problems with the MS because MS sometimes shows as an eye problem. So that's history now. Essentially, that's history.
Amazing. This is just so amazing. We're also grateful to you for sharing your story and for introducing me to this magic wand. And I've introduced it to loads of people, but we're so jealous that we haven't got ours in yet.
I so often I originally when they first arrived, so I was one of the first few, but they are coming very soon. They're on their way.
Yeah.
There are a few other mental issues in China, and the world is a bit nuts at the moment, and that's why.
But they are being delivered out very soon. So those of you who have already ordered ones know that they are on their way. And please do get in touch with us. You know, if you want a wand, if you've come through a net, you know, go approach a net or myself, whatever. This technology is so what we've been waiting for such a long time. And for those of you who are very aware of the medicine of the future, which is all about frequency, and those of you who are aware of quantum, which is this expanded, you know, this is an expanded healing, not just healing, it's what we think, it's what we feel, it's what we're becoming, it's what we are, it's what we're creating, it's what we're manifesting, it's the new earth, it's the medicine of the new earth. So that's why those of us that are healers already, that knew this technology was on its way, we have pounced on it, and now we're seeing results that are, I have to say, mind-blowing results in very, very little time. Like in no time, people are getting results.
It's in minutes, actually. Also with pets as well. You know, I use it on pets, plants, food, water. I do this wand on everything that I consume. It's just incredible. I can't even find the words to describe it.
I know. Oh. Everyone's really excited about it, Annette. Every time I post another testimonial in my group, it's like, you just think, wow, you know, this is what we're here for. This is why many of us are here now, to share this, because many of us have turned our backs on Big Pharma a very long time ago. And to have this kind of support where it's not, and I said this over and over again, it's not the device healing us.
No.
It's the device activating our own body's intelligence to self-heal. And it's 3 technologies in one. It's the Terahertz, it's the blue light technology, and it's the crystal quartz. And it's just incredible. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much, Annette, for sharing your story again, so that I can pop it onto BitChute and to YouTube.
You're very welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.
And you're so welcome, and I will see you really soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks, darling. Bye. Bye-bye.